let's look at one of the most popular and quintessential or like common techniques in Aikijutsu, Japanese Jujitsu, Aikido, the Kote Gaeshi. I fucked that up already. Kote Gaeshi. My Japanese is horrible. I'm sorry. All right, but I love this technique, and it was probably the first technique I ever learned, or for Aikijutsu purposes, in Kote Gaeshi, and later became, you know, a fun tool to use even when I was grappling. And there's actually a few instances of it being used in some MMA scenarios, which I'll have to link in. But let's look at first how to do it, why it's cool, and also some of the things that people have a hard time developing. First, let's go old school development. You grab cross wrist. I turn my wrist, look at his thumb, grab his thumb, rotate out, and now I make our initial Kote Gaeshi grip, okay? And when I teach this, I think about we're making a box. 1 point, 2 point, 3 point, and his fingers are pointing at the 4th point, or basically his fingers are a little longer. Now we have a box. If I elongate that box, close that box, it becomes easier for him. But I keep that box, I add rotation, you can see how it dips his shoulder. Now if I push forward again, he takes that pressure off, easier for him to come in. But I keep that box and I rotate into the box, then I actually have the technique. So when we're looking at it, whoop, and now I'm gonna start rotating my torso into the box. And I think about my center line attached, and sometimes we'll actually put it right on my center line. And then we have Aiki footwork. So look at it again on footwork. My right foot step out. Now I start my pivot. My left foot's gonna back step, and we drop. I've maintained that box. I'll put my knee on him to finish. Your basic way of developing the feel, if we start off with the cross wrist, we expose the thumb. I expose the thumb, I just top down grip, and I'm doing the best I can. I start cheating my fingers into like the meat of his hand. And then we start rotating this other hand out, and it slides down. I'm trying to have this thumb to thumb, like, what are these things called? Not your knuckles, what's it between your, it's a technical term for the thing between your knuckles, I forget what it's called. But my thumbs are resting in those spots, and it gives me a nice like control grip. So I find that first control grip here, my thumb is already on that knuckle, I rotate out, there's the other one. And now we add that rotation and finish, okay? Guys, Leon really wants you to like and subscribe to all our videos. It really scares the shit out of me. So please, for Leon's sake and my safety, like and subscribe, thank you. Good. So, guys, we saw Leon doing high falls. That if you're doing this technique properly, he has to do that. Because right now I'm going slow, but when you do it for real, it's meant to snap the wrist, right? This is Japanese Jiu-Jitsu, not Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. We're meant to snap the wrist. I'll go smooth. So when I go through it, now we just go. And he comes over. So he grabs. I now all about footwork. 1, 2, 3, go. Bam. And we walk it out and finish. So a lot of fun, man. I sucked at high falls, I could do them, but if I was late and behind, oh man, if you're Gumby, you're very athletic, you can handle this stuff, but if he was doing this to me, I'd be crying halfway through. It's just not my favorite thing to receive. But how can we use this from a grappling perspective? And it happens all the time here. Not all the time. There's a guy, Dave Shanti, one of our brown belts, who I taught this to him years ago. And it's become his favorite thing to do in the beginning when he rolls with people. He attacks the wrist, attacks the kill first, and then proceeds with grappling after that. So this happens when the person's hands are a little lower. And Dave will just do this. He starts off with that top-down grip. All right, and he goes right to the wrist first, just wrist control. And Dave's a painter, he's a big dude, he's got a strong grip. So when he gets it, boom, people fight it a lot, have a hard time with it. But now, I'm gonna spin you a little bit. All he does is once he gets, face me. Once he gets that top, now he chases the other hand. Okay, now look, you've got your grip. And now it's all footwork. Most of the time, people, when they receive this, they don't know how to fall properly. Just stand up real quick. And they're tapping here. because the pressure's already on, and they don't know that they have to go to the ground or hit a fall, so they're just like, oh, they freak out and they tap. Quick kill, right? And if they didn't tap, and I continue to add pressure, well, the wrist snaps. It's kind of funny. We had this girl, Jules, who moved to Arizona, and she used to do this too all the time. She was 130-pound girl, will grab guys' wrists and just catch them. So it is a very powerful technique. You do need a bit of grip strength, and size is a bit of a factor, but very, very strong technique. When you think about it, you're attacking that small joint. I'm not dealing with all this other bullshit. I just got to work on this. So a lot of sensitivity, a lot of tactile, sensitivity you need. But if his hands are lower, I kind of think, boom, I'm already in. Now, a little tip for you. I try to fold my elbow on the inside of Leon's elbow. That way I'm kind of keeping it away from him. And so now when I make my footwork, you'll see I kind of keep it in my center line and finish, all right? Now another way I like to get this, let's say we're in a single collar tie. I approach it like a Russian, except I don't come underneath. I come over the top. And there's my first grip here. Now the other one will fold in. Boom, I walk it out, continue walking him out, and hit my, we're off the collar tie. It's like I'm taking an over tie on his head, on his arm, and I rotate in, spin, and rotate in, get my elbow to fold, catch the wrist, fold the other one, and you see how I'm moving Leon offline with my lat, my shoulder. Now I've established that grip. This leg will come forward. I hit a pivot step to a back step, and I'm in my Kote Gaeshi. Boom. So very, very cool technique. Has, again, some implications for self-defense, for sport, but really I think is a very strong a very strong combative technique. But if you are gonna try to use this, or any type of Aikijutsu, or Aikijutsu, or Aikido, or Kote Gaeshi for actual combat, you have to give these things some time. They do not show up overnight. You cannot just, oh cool, I learned a wrist lock and go for it. You're better off learning a punch, plain and simple. Now, since we did another Japanese Jiu-Jitsu video integrated with wrestling, integrated with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or whatever, grappling, the Urigatami was now plug in, and I did a gun defense there, and I can't wait for the comments. And here comes some more comments. We're gonna do gun defense using Kote Gaeshi. And again, if you watch other videos, I said it before, that we're doing gun defense. This is a principle, this is a concept, these are things you can do if your life is in danger and you have no other choice but either to fight for your life or put yourself at mercy of your opponent. I choose to fight for my life, so that's why we learn martial arts. We have the instincts or the core skills to defend against something that's really dangerous. So now Leon is gonna have a front-facing attack, right? And this is, pause real quick, I'm glad Leon did it. If Leon's 10 feet away from me, dude, I'm absolutely at the mercy of him. I cannot just, I don't know, there's bullshit, okay? I need that pressure, oh Jesus, right? And I'm giving that reaction. Bam, that's our first touch. Spin. First thought, as always, I'm getting my body offline and trying to move his hand as quick as possible, right? That's number one. And number one, it could just be, bang. I almost hit you in the face, I had to turn that in. I was like, oh Jesus, but that's truth, right? If we was doing this for real, yeah, I'll go to Kote Gaeshi, but I'm gonna hit a motherfucker first. So if we're getting offline, bam, elbow, punch, now I'm into that arm. Elbow him again, and look, we're in the same position. I step forward, drop it. Now we are on that elbow, and maybe I'm pinning it, smacking it, or we keep it pinned, peel, and I'm gonna hit Leon now for fun. But in reality, guys, the use of force continuum is a thing, if you know what I mean by that. If you are dealing with like an attack, okay, self-defense situation. Let's say Leon punches me, and he's a drunken guy, he swings at me, punches him, but I elbow him, break his nose, knee him, break his ribs, drop him down and hammer him, knock him out. Guess who's going to jail? Me, not him, okay? My use of force essentially has to match his use of force. It also means when, let's say I've successfully defended myself, I was able to control Leon, take the gun away. If now I went on offense and started hitting him and beating him, you have to be able to argue in court that he was still a threat. If I took the gun, controlled him, and had him stabilized, and he stopped, and then I went on attack, we'd probably both be going to jail. You threatened me with a gun, and I then beating you back. I'm talking about Connecticut law, New York law. I think Massachusetts share similar, but just reality, guys, if you ever have to deal with self-defense situation, especially if you are a trained martial artist, there's no true thing about, I have to register my hands with blah, blah, blah. That's not a thing. But if you are a martial artist and you are in a serious self-defense situation, guess what? You are going to be looked at as the expert, someone who has control, someone who should not have destroyed the other guy. But that's, hopefully your training will give you that sense of control. So one more time in this one. Still on a front attack, and the goal is similar, get body offline, and then I'm looking for wrist control. Boom, spin. Let's do that again. So we're here, boom. Once we have it, it's all about folding in and keeping the gun away from him. I continue my footwork, and I'm back in my series, peeling and hitting if I need to. So again, very powerful technique, and it can be used in a lot of different ways, which was the reason I wanted to do this video, was one, how you can, the general principle and why it is very powerful, how to set it up, and then just some basic applications for grappling, self-defense, or real life situations.